And we're streaming. Say hi, everybody.
Hi! Yay!
I know. It's like we're living in a beautiful future dream world. Rob, this is your first time on a stream, so welcome aboard.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I feel a little bit nauseous, but hopefully it'll...
Calm down soon.
Yeah, hopefully the white caps will slow down a little and I'll get my sea legs.
Okay. Done and done. That's one, and I'll send out a tweeter as well. Oh, tweeting. You're good?
So you're not going to be able to edit out my atrocious gas then?
No, sadly. Although we weren't going to do that anyway.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. A podcast recording. Oh. Yeah, the fun part about Paul Manafort and Roger Stone. No, I'm just saying being destroyed is that I remember, and Roger Stone being destroyed is in my media literacy class in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember the teacher was like, okay, you all need to hear about this guy, Paul Manafort. And this is like the 90s. And no one has heard of Paul Manafort publicly. And he's like, he's the worst man in the world. He's been destroying politics since the 80s. And he's just like been thrown out of politics and good riddance. But we can never let stuff like that happen again. And this is a guy in Canada.
Wow.
What class was this?
Media literacy. You know, what's his name's class? Yeah, at the high school we went to.
Screen Ed?
No.
Comtech.
No, not Comtech either. You know, I don't remember the specific name of the class. It was media, history, culture, whatever it was called. The bald guy. You did not take that one, no.
The bald guy.
I don't remember the teacher's name. Thank you, Mr. Gamble, yes. I forgot his name. It's embarrassing, but I did.
Bald.
I thought it was a medical course like living with gout or something.
Wow. But anyway, the point is, and he had us read this book about marketing, and that's where I learned about how Nestle is Satan, right? Mm-hmm. And but yeah, like Black, Manafort, Kelly, whatever they were called, came up in the course as like the guys who were using marketing and lobbying to destroy democracy.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I've kind of known about this guy for 20 years, so it's fine to see that. It's nice to see them finally going down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for temporarily at least.
Temporarily at least.
Yeah.
They're going down a little. Did you watch that Get Me Roger Stone documentary?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. What was it? It's been out for a few years.
Oh, no,
now,
yeah, it was a year and a half ago or something.
They're going to have an ongoing
update?
Addendum to it, yes.
They're gonna need to update that one. And it's like, as I was watching that, I'm like, isn't it weird to do a documentary where like the plot of the documentary is I'm a criminal who keeps getting away with crimes?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's the kind of documentary I would only take part in on my deathbed. This is like,
look, you're talking about a man who has a Richard Nixon, tattoo on a tramp stamp.
I know.
Richard Nixon. So, I think this is, and, we've all witnessed his behavior since he has been under the eye of the judge right now. And
you're right. He's only gotten worse. So
yes, he cares little for any sort of
law, convention, basic human decency.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a real worthless dirtbag. That
wretched human being.
Roger Stone. All right, so the file exists. We're recording, so let's do 5 seconds of silence. I'm going to check the show notes one last time. Okay. All right. Check the show notes. Done. Ready to go. We're going to be playing some Earth Defense Force and recording the AVOD. So welcome aboard, peeps. Hit on. Oh my God.
Way to go.
I know, that was terrible.
It's on the live stream.
I know, so embarrassing. I'll do that one more time. Greetings and welcome to the AVOD. I'm Count Varjalon.
I'm DM.
And we're joined today by our very special guest.
I'm Billy Batson. I'm here to talk about Captain Marvel.
Wrong Captain Marvel, Billy. But we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, sorry. Groundbreaker. Hi, how are you guys?
It was beautiful.
I missed you.
We've missed you
It's
too.
been a while.
Well, no, and
I
that's
know.
entirely 100% me because I got too busy around Christmas to go see Aquaman. And that's 100% my fault. If I had just gone to see Aquaman, we would have done one of these over Christmas. But for the rest of the year, I think we're going to be seeing you all the time because it's like movie after movie after movie all year.
Right?
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
So many high-profile movies this year.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Got my
There's a new
calendar booked.
There's a new Spider-Man movie. There's a new Avengers movie. And for briefly, people whined that they're like, "Pfft, how could you reveal the idea, the new Spider-Man trailer before we knew if Spider-Man survives in Avengers?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Come on.
Shut up.
Anyone who glances into the future Marvel catalog that they or calendar that they have knows that there's at least like 5 sequels to each and every one of their major characters coming up.
I know,
So
right?
it is of no shock to anyone.
Anyway, well, you know what? We'll get there when we talk about Avengers, I assume. But right now, we got some random crap to start the show off with. I want to recommend a TV show. Have either of you seen Black Monday?
No.
Movie?
No, brand new TV show.
Oh, no. New.
It's Don Cheadle's new show.
Oh, yes, Wall Street. And
Yeah, Wall
yes,
Street,
yes.
the 80s, around
Yes.
the Black
God, that
Monday,
looks good.
October. It's so much fun. It's so good. I want to recommend it to everybody. It's the guy who created Happy Endings, the beloved, and, you know, we still miss it, sitcom Happy Endings. He created this too. And oh my God, it's so funny. Don Cheadle is amazing as always. Like, it's really funny, and it does great drama as well. There's like 2 or 3 episodes in the 7 I've watched where they're like, I think they forgot to be a comedy this week, but it's still really good because the character stuff is that great. So yeah,
Wow.
I can't recommend it strongly enough. It's a great show, but I want to specifically call out an amazing thing. So it's set in the 80s. It's not about real people. It's not about a real trading organization. It's about one of the many scummy trading groups in the 1980s. In one episode, the guy, they've changed his name, but the guy who wrote Wall Street drops by to like shadow the people for a day. So like they do nods like that, and there's lots of, you know, cute self-aware nods to the 80s. But by far the best thing they've done in that respect is figuring out a way to not get sued in the most arrogant way possible. So they want to talk about Michael Milken and his predator's balls and the way he got all these rich people to have debauched parties, and he would set up, you know, scummy deals that he was at the center of every year. Like, it was a huge thing that he did, and he went to jail for all of this stuff, so everyone knows he's a scumbag, but I think they were still worried he might be sued because he is also now a philanthropist who cares about his image. So they had the best way I've ever seen of avoiding being sued. And that is, they called the character not Michael Milken. Every single time someone greets him, you're not Michael Milken. I'm not Michael Milken. This is not the Predator's ball. And that is the only work they did.
That's great.
It's so good. And it's like, yep, we're not putting any work in here. This is not the Predator's ball. I'm not Michael Milken. Let's get to it. Oh no, but that is like representative of the kind of comedy. Like, it's over the top, it's weird, it's fun. Paul Scheer is one of the main characters.
Yeah, with hair.
I know, with crazy, like with a crazy 80s wig. I'm like, yeah, way to go, Paul Scheer. But yeah,
Nice.
doing the drama great, doing the comedy great. It's hitting all fronts. Can't say enough good things about it. I recommend everybody check it out. In Canada, it's on Crave. It's on Showtime in America. I don't know what Showtime's online affiliations are in the States, but they even go so far as to open every episode with the 1987 like Showtime logo.
Wow.
Just to make sure people get it on board right away. So yeah, Black Monday, it's fantastic.
So
Next up,
noted. Yeah, I definitely wanted to check that one out.
you definitely should. Oh, and the episodes are only half an hour. It is sitcom length, even though it's half a drama.
Awesome.
All right. I believe DM has a thing.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it.
I did. I said next up. And then,
Oh no, I didn't hear that at all.
totally fine. Go for it.
So I finally got around to watching Tomb Raider.
Oh, how'd you like it?
It's not great.
It's not. No.
It wastes a lot of time at the start.
It takes so long to get started.
And
That's
then
the weirdest thing about that movie.
it's like, okay, I guess I'll open the tomb now. It's like, okay, I go, all right, I guess we're ready for that to happen. And then it's just
Stops
Last Crusade
immediately
for
after.
a little while, and
It Last Crusades, and then it just immediately stops.
and then that's the end of the movie. And it's like, what was the point of all of
It
that?
takes so long for her to get to that island. And then when she gets to the island, she spends, like, charitably 20 minutes hanging out with Walton Goggins and the various slaves. And then right away she runs into her dad without too much effort.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh. I feel like they've structured this movie really badly.
They did.
And do you know what
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it just felt so formulaic. I mean,
God, is it ever.
You know, it just hit all the beats. I mean, you could use that protractor to just, figure out where it's going to go next,
Yeah.
Do you know Oh, sorry,
they
go.
copied stuff directly from the game. So it's like,
Yeah.
why not just put the game on screen? Because the game's great. It's a good story. Just show us that.
Yeah, and I actually really liked the plot of the game.
Yeah.
Because the plot of the game was, there are these guys, and there's a tomb of an ancient empress who creates storms, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then what is it? And then there actually when you get there, there's no twist. There is a giant, massive cult with crazy samurais. Oh, and the skeleton seems to actually have magical powers and does try to possess a lady. Like, that's interesting. Whereas this, they literally just do Uncharted.
But not even. They do it poorly.
Oh, no, I'm saying they do it poorly, but literally, Uncharted, they spend the whole game trying to find out what the secret of this temple, blah, 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 is, and so they get there, and the secret of the temple is a zombie virus.
Yeah.
And then that's what they did in Tomb Raider.
It was just, it felt like it was laying out so much foundation for future episodes, future installments, and you have, with the Trinity Foundation. I mean, you didn't even need to go into all that in the first one. Let's just stick with Lara, and then we'll move from there.
Yeah.
Well, and my favorite thing in the movie is, so these guys, they didn't want this queen to be found. So it's kind of weird that there's a way in at all. Like, I don't know why there are ways to get into the temple when the whole point is they were burying this lady who had a zombie virus and they wanted her to stay gone.
Yeah.
But my favorite part is, so there's a bunch of things and there's a bunch of the Last Crusade traps. And then finally when you open up the thing, and on top of that, there's like, there is a tiny lever at the bottom that makes her sit up and scare people.
That's so ridiculous.
Like, what?
Come on.
I just love the idea of the architects. Like, well, we put in walls of spikes and collapsing floors and things. What if they make it all the way here? Well, then she'll sit up like a Halloween skeleton, and maybe that'll scare them to stay away from her. Like, at that point, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so underwhelming, but Walton Goggins. Also, Walton Goggins, who I love unreservedly. You're not as big a fan of Walton Goggins as I am. That's fine. You never watched Justified. I get it. Like, you don't have to watch... I mean, you should, but you don't have the time to watch Justified. I get that.
No, I do. I'm just not going to.
See, there you go. She just doesn't like having quality in her life. She doesn't like having quality in her life. It's fine.
That's not true.
It's 100% true if you're not watching Justified. But anyway, we can talk about Justified later. We won't talk about Justified later. Let's move on to the list we're going to address.
Yeah, okay, so this week's list is the 10 best female superhero movies.
Ooh.
So that's all 10 superhero movies?
Well, not even.
Oh, no!
Oh,
We are
no.
counting down from 10,
Okay.
starting with Catwoman.
Okay, so yeah, that must be all of them if Catwoman
Yeah, I
has
was
made
just
a
gonna
best
say, wow.
list.
I mean, I know you're really reaching if you put Catwoman on any list with the word best in the title, but
Oh, God. That
Number
poor
9.
woman. Go.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay. I mean, the 3 of the 4 superheroes in that movie are women, so yeah, that's fine.
3 of the 4?
Yeah, Ghost and the Wasp and Janet Pym.
I wouldn't call Ghost a superhero.
Well, she's the powered lady. It's fine. It's close
Well,
enough.
because she's a villain, so
Yeah, but then she turns good. Spoiler alert.
this issue. Okay, so well, this issue of villains is going to come up next because number 8 is Suicide Squad.
Yeah, she's not a superhero, and she's not
Nope.
the lead.
Nope,
She's close to the lead, but she's not the lead.
she's not the lead. Also, okay, let me just read to you what this person wrote about it.
Yeah.
Okay, something blah blah blah. Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn first appeared in Batman the Animated Series in 1992, stole the show with her expert gymnast moves and psychological tactics that easily made her a fan favorite. Psychological
Tactics? What the hell does that mean?
What
What
are
is
you
that?
talking about?
No, she's just a crazy stalker. And that's fine. She's America's favorite crazy stalker, but that's all she is.
It's not stalker. She was a mall.
Well, I think she is kind of a stalker of the Joker, but you're right, because there's an obsessiveness to the behavior that I think transcends Muldum.
But she's not a. I wouldn't call her a stalker. I don't think.
Given the amount of time she returns to the Joker after he throws her away,
That doesn't make her a stalker. That
That's
makes
true.
her an abused woman.
that's true. You're right. But yeah, she is not known for psychological tactics.
Yeah.
You know, master tactician Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
The Art of
Yeah,
War
first
by
sledgehammer.
Harley Quinn. Rule 1, hit people with a hammer. Oh, God. All right, next up.
Number 7, Powerpuff Girls, the movie.
I haven't seen this. I can't speak to it, but
I really like it. I think it's really cute.
That should have
No,
been higher
Powerpuff-
on the list.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls are great. I just haven't seen the movie.
Oh, well, you should.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay, number 6, Supergirl.
That's a terrible movie. That is just a terrible movie.
Really, that was on the ass end of the whole like Richard Donner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm embarrassed for that movie. And it's Faye Dunaway in that, right?
I don't know.
As the witch?
Yes, she was. You're right. Yes.
I think it's Faye Dunaway as the witch. Oof.
Yeah.
Helen Slater as Supergirl. Just a disaster all around. Not a good movie. Peter O'Toole? Like, what was going on with that movie?
Paychecks.
Paychecks.
Yeah.
So many paychecks. Okay, next up.
Number 5, Tank Girl.
Oh, I love Tank Girl.
Yeah, fun movie.
You're not going to hear me say anything bad about Tank Girl. Love the character. Really enjoyed the movie. Lori Petty
was
is
great. Yeah.
perfect Tank Girl. Like, yeah. It's just a really good movie. Oh my god, I just realized that there's a slight chance that Barbed Wire might show up on this list.
Wait and see.
Okay, next up.
If it goes ahead of Tank Girl, I'll be pissed.
No, that would be shattering.
Yeah.
Number 4, Elektra.
Oh, that's a terrible movie.
Jesus
movie.
Christ,
Do you know
Why
that-
is
was
it number
bad.
4?
Do you know that only like 3 or
Also, it's
4
really
times only 3 or 4 times in my entire life have I fallen asleep watching a movie I've never seen before. That just never happens to me. Like, if I sit down to watch a movie I haven't seen, I watch it all the way through. And, like, very rarely will I fall asleep. I wasn't even that tired, and I dozed off during Elektra. It is so boring.
Yeah. That is like that was like during her and Ben's like dual pact with Satan to do that in Daredevil
Oh.
simultaneously.
It's such a bad movie. No, Elektra
Really
is
bad.
not good.
Nope. Okay, number 3. So, it just says Jean Grey, X-Men The Last Stand. So,
Ew.
we've just violated the rules of this list.
Yeah.
By listing a character instead of the movie. Never mind the fact that she's terrible.
She
it's
is.
It's a terrible movie, and she just sulks through the whole movie. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, she's kind of terrible in that awful film.
So are these aren't films that are just solely led by? They're just female superheroes.
Well, it was originally supposed to be solely led by, and then they threw that away immediately.
Right,
like, it's clear that was the intention of the list, and then they're like, oh, there's only 3 of those. We'd better open up this list.
Right.
And that sucks.
Uh-huh. All right, we got 2 to go.
Okay, what's left?
Number 2
I honestly
is
don't know what's left.
Captain Marvel. Duh.
Oh, yeah, well, no, but I didn't realize this movie was from this week. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Well, you know what? As long as Barbed Wire isn't on the list, it's a good list.
I think Barbed Wire deserves to be on this list more than Catwoman.
Well, that's true.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, I know, but really, if you wanted to extend the list, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, there should have been a made-for-TV movie kind of subcategory. If you're going to go out and put Jean Grey in there, then why not do made-for-TV and do Lindsay Wagner as the Bionic Woman? I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, because
superpowers, and
they never actually released a theatrical one of those.
No, they didn't. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna stretch it to let Jean Grey, a spot on this list, then
maybe put one of the original superhero ladies from filmed entertainment on there. Yeah, that would be nice.
Do Kathy Lee Crosby as Wonder Woman, but
Oh my God! But yes, it's pretty. I gotta say, I've heard of worse ideas than that, but no, that was a pretty terrible list.
Yeah,
it was a pretty terrible list that was more of an indictment of Hollywood sexism than it was the failure of the list makers.
Right.
Because it's like, these Marvel movies have been happening for a decade, and Scarlett Johansson still hasn't had her own movie.
Yep.
And it might finally be happening, but it's been more than a decade. She was in Iron Man 2 in 2008 or something crazy like that, 2009. And they haven't given her her own movie in all that time, despite her showing up whenever they need her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been very good to you, Marvel.
But I think the issue now, though, is if you're going to make a Black Widow movie, what story do you tell? Because these movies are usually origin stories, and you can't tell her origin story because she's been around for too long.
Right.
In all of these other movies.
Yeah, you're right.
But if you don't do an origin story, it's going to be unsatisfying in a way that no one's really going to be able to describe sufficiently.
God, you're right, because it's not like now if Chris Evans wants to leave and they just do a Falcon and Winter Soldier movie, that's fine because we've been already slowly introduced to those characters. But it's like to have it would be a natural follow-up to the Captain America franchise. I would watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, by the way. That sounds like a lot of fun. But how do you do just a Black Widow movie that isn't her origin story?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I guess we're going to see what they have planned.
Especially after the criminally underrated Red Sparrow. I'll go on record saying that. I thought that was
a movie that nobody talked about. I'm like, it's just a good spy movie.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people dismissed it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, it made no splash and it's very strange.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to upcoming horror movies.
Yes. This week's upcoming horror movie is called Tone Deaf.
Oh, no.
And everybody needs to stop talking while I read the synopsis.
Please, go.
No interruption.
All right.
After losing her job and imploding her latest dysfunctional relationship, Millennial Olive leaves the city for a weekend of peace in the country, only to discover the shockingly dark underbelly of rural America.
Ooh.
She rents an eccentric, ornate country house from Harvey, an old-fashioned widower who's struggling to hide his psychopathic tendencies. Soon, two generations collide with terrifying results in this home invasion horror film that is also darkly comedic. A critique of the bizarre cultural and political climate that currently exists.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Oh no!
It gets worse.
Please.
This is written and directed by Richard Bates Jr.
Wait, why is that name familiar?
He made Trash Fire.
Oh my god!
One of the worst films I've seen.
No, that's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is gonna be such garbage.
No pun intended.
An entitled millennial goes to the old South and runs into a crazed serial killer.
Wait, wasn't the Trash Fire? Wasn't that the one with the guy from Entourage in it? Am I thinking of the right one?
I don't know Entourage, but it's about this guy who goes home.
Adrian, what's his face? Adrian.
I think so. Yeah.
I thought, oh,
from Marauders.
Yeah.
We watched Marauders on the show. It wasn't very good, but.
Sorry.
No, totally fine. You can jump in with that one. But yes, that is the movie you're thinking of, and it was complete garbage. Oh, I'm so sad now.
So I wonder if Tone Deaf will actually be Tone Deaf. Probably.
It definitely will.
His titles.
Well, at least we have Us coming in a couple weeks.
That's true.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, that is the real upcoming horror movie. And by the way, I don't say a damn word about it. I've seen no posters. I have watched no trailers. I'm going in completely clean on this one.
Me too. I've just read headlines from South by Southwest that said
people
that
seem to love it.
Avoided the sophomore slump altogether, and it is just as riveting, every bit as riveting, if not even scarier than Get
Out was.
Get Out.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait for this movie.
I know.
All right. So we are here to talk about another movie, though, that we all watched. So.
Oh, sorry. No.
I think I want to see that.
Me too. It's Shazam.
It kind of looks like fun.
I mean, Captain Marvel is one of my all-time favorite superheroes, so I just want to see what happens.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see it. And so, yeah, maybe we'll be back here talking about Shazam. Who knows? But, yeah, we did not watch Shazam. Take it away, DM.
Veers is separated from her squad after an exfiltration mission goes wrong. She winds up on Earth, where she continues her pursuit of the bad guys and runs into Nick Fury. A bunch of stuff happens, then more stuff happens, and then, quite suddenly, she's a superhero. The end.
Okay, so before we start, can I just say that it has the single best opening crawl of any of the Marvel films with the Stan Lee tribute.
Yeah, all of the Stan Lee cameos. God damn it.
Beautiful.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if people teared up during that. It was so wonderful.
It really was perfect.
Yeah.
Totally did.
So beautiful. No, they really did a great job.
And they had a movie after it.
And then there was we were also there for an hour and 40 minutes after the opening title card.
Oh boy.
All right, so I'm gonna jump out and say this. It is, to me, the least impressive Marvel movie since Doctor Strange, for me. I enjoy sitting in a theater watching this movie? Yeah, I did. But I also enjoyed sitting in a theater watching Doctor Strange. Minute to minute, these guys make movies that are entertaining to watch. I think it had a lot of problems, though, and I think it's their weakest movie since Doctor Strange. And I would put it down there with Iron Man 2 and, Thor 2 kind of territory.
Okay, I loved Doctor Strange.
I know you did. We've previously disagreed on Doctor Strange.
I kind of enjoy Iron Man 2. I despise Iron Man 3. I'd say this is better than that.
See, and I'd flip you on that one. Again, those are the two we really disagree on. I love Iron Man 3. You like Iron Man 2. But I'd say we both put them roughly in the same place in the Marvel Pantheon, swapped. And I would say, for me, it's better than Iron Man 2. For you, it's better than Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would put it roughly there. Rob?
So I would say that let's say if Captain America: Civil War was like their '70s spy thriller, Spider-Man: Homecoming was kind of their ode to John Hughes films.
Yeah.
This would be their '90s sitcom, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Ouch! Oh, shots
Full
fired,
House,
though.
maybe.
Not even though, because where Captain America was able, mind you, it's contemporary, but able to leverage that sort of this 70s spy thriller aesthetic vibe.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel really didn't capitalize on the 90s. They didn't leverage that at all.
Oh,
No.
I thought the effects looked like they were right out of the '90s.
Oh, God! Oh, that's so mean.
Oh, I just set you up for that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful setup. Couldn't have worked better if it had been planned.
Thank you. That was a good pick.
I see that, though.
No, Cal, I'm with you 100%. Like, yes, I had fun while I was there. I so wanted to be moved by this movie. I so wanted to walk away thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is it. Now the flag has been planted and we're getting ready to move forward." And I just walked away with just such. I mean, it almost left my mind the minute I left the theater.
There's nothing to hold on to in this movie.
So lightweight and just there was just so many little problematic things, and honestly, some of the worst writing that I've seen in a Marvel film in quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
that's absolutely right. Not only do and weird stuff too, like missing jokes that don't work.
Yeah.
Really flat characters. Like there's a moment in the movie where it's like, I don't know how you missed this joke. And I mean, obviously we're going to talk about the whole movie. So they're escaping from Area 51. I don't remember what they called their fake Area 51.
It doesn't matter.
Pegasus or something. Pegasus, doesn't matter what it was called. But anyway, they're leaving their fake Area 51. And she's like, we have to go to Louisiana. Where's Louisiana? Fly straight east until Memphis, then take a right. And she does not immediately say, I don't know what either of those things are. Because how could she? She doesn't know what either of those things are. She doesn't know what East is. She doesn't know what Memphis is. Like, how do you miss that joke?
Well, and there's countless aspects of that, and I guess we'll get into it as we progress. But I do feel like, just like that missing a joke, it felt like they were so quick to move to the next scene that nothing set in. Like, I never got the sense that, I still don't get the sense that she is indestructible. She's got nuclear hands, and that's essentially all I got out of it, is that, she's got rocket hands, and really, I don't have any sense of her humanity, her struggle to get there, and the fact that she is completely and utterly indestructible. So there was no sense of peril ever felt. There was no sense of that there was going to be any jeopardy had by any of the characters in there, because we never got to spend really any quality time getting to know any of them. They just got to have witty repartee between a couple of them. And
I don't understand. Okay, and here's the thing about the movie, right? I don't understand. In order to earn the moment where she gets god powers and wrecks everything, you have to have her get really beaten in a series of fights for that to be satisfying. But that never happens.
No.
Well, no, because this story, it's supposed to be about her, and it's her origin story, and it should be like a journey of self-discovery for her and for us.
Yep.
But it isn't. It's almost like the movie kind of takes for granted that everybody knows that she's a superhero, that she is Captain Marvel. So
there was this definitive moment that it really kind of encapsulated it for me, is that they had that one montage scene that felt like it was a Nike commercial, where it showed her repeatedly getting back up. And I felt like Serena Williams was going to narrate it for us.
No, you're right that felt. I have seen that exact Nike commercial.
Yeah,
like that's not hyperbole.
but we don't know what she's getting up from, and I think therein lies my really like kind of fundamental issue with it. Is that like, yeah, she's getting back up, but she's got, we don't know. I mean, we see her just getting up. That's it. There's no contextualization of anything. It's just this montage.
Well, this is the other issue in terms of like they don't know how to tell her story properly, because like she's getting like she crashed her go-kart, she fell off her bike. I don't know. She like can't hit a baseball.
She can't hit a baseball.
Much earlier in the film, it's mentioned that her dad's an asshole.
Yeah.
And you see him yelling at her at some point. And so the getting back up should be about her standing up to her dad.
Exactly.
Which is why she stands up to Jude Law.
Yes.
But in the context of the visuals that are presented to us, it's just, no, she fell off her bike and she's going to get back up and try again. And good for her.
Right.
No, but it's like you needed this story about what an abusive, like, they're not willing to go all the way in with what an abusive monster her dad had to be, that she had to go and live essentially with a foster family. You know?
Right, and that would provide context for her weird relationship with Jude Law, who turns out to be the bad guy. Big surprise there, Jude Law can't be trusted.
Not only can Jude Law not be trusted, it's a surprise that he's the bad guy. You know he's on the same side as that guy who likes to blow up planets, right? Remember the guy who blows up planets from Guardians of the Galaxy?
As soon as he's like Skype texting with
Lee Pace.
Holding a 500-pound anvil in his hand, just to have you kind of get the feeling like, wonder why he's got a hammer just for a casual conversation. You know, it's like,
but it's like there's an entire movie about how Lee Pace loves to blow up planets, and how how Jaimin Honshu is a crazy murderer who works for him. And then we see that these are the two co-workers of Jude Law. I wonder who the bad guy is. Like, guys, come on. You can't play it like this is a surprise. You have to lean into the fact that the audience has seen all of these movies and remembers Lee Pace and Jaimin Honshu.
Worse yet, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, doesn't recover her memories on her own.
Nope.
Yes. Yep.
So when the double cross inevitably comes, and it happens too late.
Yep.
It's handed to her by the guy who's supposed to be the bad guy.
Literally, she doesn't get betrayed. Like, there should be a scene where she is massively damaged by being betrayed by Jude Law. But the film's ostensible bad guy walks in, tells her that Jude Law is the bad guy, she gets all of her memories back, and so then it's a complete anticlimax when she runs into Jude Law later.
And he even says, and here's another aspect, he even has that one line, look, I even have blood on my hands from this. Well, but we never see her with blood on her hands. She's too busy firing rockets from them. We don't literally see any kind of consequence to her. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and it's like you get this moment where God, who is the actor who plays the Skrull?
Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn, who I like normally, although
him.
I mean, then again, he was in Ready Player One, but it's like essentially in that scene, he's supposed to be saying, "I forgive you for all the ethnic cleansing." Yeah. Now please help me deal with this situation. But I'm like, the film is unwilling to grapple with the fact that she was a frigging ethnic cleanser. Yeah. That she has killed thousands of Skrulls.
Because that would make her the bad guy.
But it has to be a film about her stopping being a bad guy. And finding out that, like, this evil empire turned her into a living weapon and brainwashed her against her will. And her being manipulated her whole life, just like she was by her dad, just like she was by the U.S. Army, blah, 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 blah. Like, that should have been her arc. Yeah, finally rejecting all of that.
Because she never comes by the stuff on her own, you can't have that story. So that's the problem with Kat. So, like, the whole time she's on Earth, it should jog her memory. She should realize that her memories are being repressed. They've even been overwritten in some cases.
Yep.
But then, the whole time on Earth, she's just palling around with Nick Fury.
And trading quips and listening to 90s one-hit wonders.
Yes, exactly.
And you don't even, and the crazy part is, this isn't even hard. You do a scene where Ben Mendelsohn looks like he's going to kill her, but then instead he offers her a hand. She beats him up and throws him away. She goes to report to Jude Law, and then Jude Law tries to kill her. There. That's how you structure that.
But even Ben Mendelsohn's character, and I hope we're going to get into the Skrulls in just a second.
Of course.
Ben Mendelsohn's character does a complete 180. I mean, he goes from being this, like,
cackling
this
monster?
heartless bastard of saying, shoot him, find him, kill him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, look, I need to rub temples with my Skrull wife, in outer space and wear flannel and have dinner and joke with you as though we were having friends over for dinner.
Oh.
I mean, it was just a complete and utter character shift that felt unearned.
Oh, completely
But-
unearned. Also, he says jazz hands, and I'm like, you're a Skrull!
So yes, let's get to that, please, Ken, because you alluded to it too about being like West and Wisconsin and all that.
Yes.
And there's a moment too where the Skrulls they finally reveal themselves to Carol and I forget her fellow Air Force
Maria?
pilot, Maria.
Yeah.
And they all of a sudden pop into Maria's house, and one of them comes in sipping a straw from, I guess, a Chick-fil-A cup or something. That like
milkshake from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, he was able to stop by and grab a milkshake, even just being nanoseconds on this planet, and then says, "You should, what if your neighbor wants to borrow a cup of sugar?" Like, this is an old school idiom.
Why would you know something like that? Yeah.
Like
and the
an
thing
old
is,
school idiom that
honestly,
we don't even use anymore.
I thought that character was going to have been. I know this is going to sound crazy. I was expecting him to actually be Nick Fury's boss, and then Nick Fury's boss this whole time had been a Skrull.
Right.
But no,
you're thinking way too hard.
But no, this is his. He's been in this planet for 8 seconds, and he's just the most comfortable guy in the world.
Food, and he knows idioms from the 1960s and 50s.
It's insane.
Yeah, it just, yeah.
Well, right up there with how do people know these things when, what's his face? Ben Mendelsohn?
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yep,
yeah.
Mendelsohn.
Talon in the movie.
Gives her the CD with the black box recording. It's like, where did he get that?
I don't know.
Why does he have it on CD?
Yeah.
Like, I get it's for the joke where we're waiting for it to load.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
How did he get that?
Right.
How did he get it?
I mean, I guess he got it from... I assume he got it from the like, Area 51, but why is it on CD? Why is he bringing it this way? If he wants her help, why is he being such a dick all of that time?
When did he get it? Like, it doesn't... None of...
I guess he got it at Area 51 just then, but they don't explain it.
But how would he know that that's important?
But DM, you're exactly right. All that was.
I'm so sorry. How would he know that's important is where we were. I have to take this. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Nope.
Yeah,
man, we're gonna roll there.
I'm recording the
two-way
podcast.
pager that he's using.
That's right.
You're the best. Bye. All right. So, how would he know that?
State-of-the-art page.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, take the 5 seconds of silence. I'm just going to write down where in the show we were when the call happened. It was, let me see how many minutes. 39 minutes. 39 Mins call Avod Marvel. All right. So yeah, how would he know that that's important? Is where you were.
Okay.
Yes.
How would he even know that that's important?
And that would be what convinced her and jogged her memories. Like, it comes completely out of nowhere.
All that was a setup for a 90s joke. That's all it was. And that's what a lot of these seemed like they were, just to set up a joke. And it even, most of it worked toward the detriment of its characters. And there's this one setup where they're both saying, both the pilots, both Carol and Maria were saying, oh, well, it's all it is da-da-da-da-da, and G-force and so on and so forth. It's simple physics. Don't you know that? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that she knew all that. I didn't know she was that brilliant. I didn't know she was that I mean, I know she had a really cool wrist thingy that translated shit, but I also know just a few seconds earlier she was blasting a cardboard cutout of Arnold Schwarzenegger in a blockbuster because she couldn't distinguish it from an actual life form. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do I know that she has these powers? They never give us any clue to that whatsoever.
Yeah, because suddenly she's able to look at a string of numbers and say, "Oh, well, that's obviously the speed and course of an object orbiting the Earth." Obviously, I'm like,
Obviously.
you're a test pilot. Why would you immediately have that information?
Yeah.
You didn't work for NASA.
Oh my goodness. So
It was weird.
Can we also address the now that's what I call the '90s soundtrack in here
Yes.
for a second?
Sure.
Okay. I am one of the moments that I was completely taken out of this film too was, and this is in by no means a knock to the illustrious work of Gwen Stefani and No Doubt,
Yeah.
but playing "I'm Just a Girl" during one of her climactic battle sequences
Removes all of the tension and drama.
removes all of it, and I actually did a search for the 1995, which I think it was supposed to be set in, correct?
Yeah, set in 1995.
Okay, so I was looking at 1994, 1995's female-driven songs because look.
What could they have used?
So, how about you could do you could do anything for PJ Harvey, but Fiona Apple's "Criminal."
That would have been good.
Alanis Morissette. I mean, come on, Bjork. Anything from Bjork.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Garbage. Only happy when it rains.
Yeah.
They already
Or-
used that, but you're right. They could have used it,
Reuse it
again.
there. Or Veruca Salt Seether.
Mhm.
Come on.
There
or
were better
Tori Amos.
songs because, like, it's the wrong tone. It's the wrong song. You look at how brilliantly Led Zeppelin is used in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, exactly.
They could have picked a song to be her theme,
Yep.
Yeah.
and this wasn't the song, and
Worse
it wasn't
yet.
set up through the whole movie to be her
Worse
theme.
yet,
Yeah.
on the topic of the music. Okay, so not only is it not
Oh, by the way, I just want to say,
That's-
if you wanted a song to be her theme, make it a song from the 80s. She's from the 80s.
yeah,
Exactly,
right? Exactly.
The character is from the 80s. She has no connection to the 1990s.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though the film is set there. Sorry, that really
Yeah.
bothered me.
No, but on the topic of the music,
Yeah.
so, okay, pick a better song for her fight with Jude Law, but also, there is a jukebox on board that
Oh.
spaceship.
Yeah.
God, yes.
Why couldn't the song start diegetic and become non-diegetic over the course of the fight? That's what
That
we
would've
want.
been
That's why the
perfect.
jukebox is there.
Yep.
Same thing when she goes into that dive bar.
And
Also,
blast
it would have been had that happened, it would have necessarily been a song from the 80s because that's when the spaceship went up there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then on the topic of her having a theme, so not only they don't leverage the 90s or 80s music well enough.
Yeah.
There is no theme or leitmotif throughout this entire movie. The only recognizable music is the Avengers theme at the very end.
Yep.
And I
That's
think that's
true.
a big problem for this movie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Half of them were set up, but half of the quote unquote humor in it was set up for bad puns of look how lame we were in the 90s with our slow moving computers, our pagers, which were state of the art at the time, or that,
And our 9-inch nails t-shirts.
our 9-inch nails t-shirts or our flannel shirts that tied around our waist.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, grunge.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
Nick says loose flannel. How does she know what that is?
Yeah.
it's a good question.
Actually, no, but she doesn't remember anything at that point, so no, she can't know.
No, she should not know what the flannel is.
Right. And then the Skrulls themselves, I mean, honestly, with all the de-aging that they were able to, I think, successfully give Samuel L. Jackson.
It looked amazing. Like,
It
he's
did look
just, I mean,
amazing.
yeah, he has the wideness of face that actual 90s Samuel L. Jackson didn't have. But
Totally.
he's completely young. Like, the euthanizing him is fantastic.
Wow, that sounded strange.
It does, doesn't it? That's not the word I was looking for. But anyway.
But really, they couldn't have afforded like some sort of Skrull makeup that wouldn't give them all like lisps when they talked. I don't know if you noticed that
know.
when Ben Mendelsohn, when he spoke with his Skrull makeup on, it had this talk where he sounded like he didn't have teeth.
Yep.
And you know, all these like Nosferatu looking creatures, they couldn't, their lips didn't move normally. I mean, it looked like they were out of a really bad 90s like full head mask.
What you're trying to say is they look like characters from Babylon 5. And
they
did.
Like Star Trek. They look like a Star Trek episode. They really did.
They really did. Like, I can't disagree with that at all. It's frustrating. That's like, this movie costs $250 million to make. Why does this look so bad?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even the, you know, like we said before with all the special effects, I mean, when she ultimately takes flight, it looked, I mean, we all knocked Black Panther's CGI when they
oh god, that
there,
fight scene. Ugh.
Yeah, but this made that look. I mean, it looked like looked great by comparison. I mean, this looked like Sci-Fi Channel, actual CGI in it at some points. I mean, it was just really, really poor. Especially,
and what was the other thing that really got me in the effects? Oh no, just just when everything was exploding, I'm like, and she's flying through, and the missiles are exploding. I'm like, oh, this has looked so much better in other Marvel movies.
Right. Yep.
Oh yeah, no. So much of the effects were so weak. Also, I know this is a weird thing to point out, but so the plan of the Skrulls is team up with Annette Bening, right, to get the energy necessary to flee to another galaxy where they won't be followed by the Kree. That is their plan. That is what they want.
Why not just steal a Kree ship? Because they clearly have.
I know, but what bothered me is
to travel faster than light.
Right. What bothers me is they call this the light speed drive, and I'm like, oh, a light speed drive. So you're saying it'll only take you 800 years to get to the next galaxy? Do you know how far away the next galaxy is?
Yeah.
And more to the point, all the aliens in this universe all have jump drives, which are better than light speed drives.
Yeah, why not just, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Steal a ship with a jump drive.
Now, I know they meant that the speed, like, I assume jump drives need nodes to function, and you can't just go to another galaxy if there's not nodes there, I guess. The film definitely doesn't say that, but we can assume.
Again, you're working too hard.
Oh, no, I am. But they absolutely need something faster than light speed drive if they want to get to another. And the weird part is, like, and I'm sure they meant it was something faster than light speed drive, but give it a different name then.
Yeah.
Because light speed just is not that fast when you're talking about interstellar spaces.
But at the same time, though, he's just saying, well, I need to find Annette Bening because she's working on a light speed drive. But that's actually not what he's looking for at all. He's trying to find his family. It's like,
well,
okay.
It is both. It is
like
both.
It's a good line to feed to an Earthling who doesn't know anything.
Who doesn't even know Earth at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're talking to someone who has lived, for all she knows, all of her life on a planet that has technology.
Super tech.
Yeah,
like crazy super tech.
Yeah, you could say dial-up modem, and that would sound like, oh my goodness, that's important. You know, they wouldn't know any better.
You're right. In 1996, if she were a human, light speed drive would sound fantastical. Right. To Veers, no, that's nothing. You're asking her for nothing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Literally, the escape pod that oh god, how. This is so embarrassing. The escape pod that Jude Law gets in has the ability to jump between solar systems. Right? So the idea that this light speed drive is something special is crazy.
Yeah, so it's just like, so who, when he says stuff like that, who is he talking to? Is he talking to today's audience? Is he talking to an audience from 1995? Or is he talking to an Earth person in the movie from the past?
That's a good question.
Yeah, and again, I don't think it's one that the writers ever even
bothered
set out to answer. I mean, they were too busy with Family Guy type quips of like, "Look how lame we were. Look what you know."
Didn't the '90s suck?
Yeah, that's exactly. I think that's exactly what they were. They wanted to set it up for the next '90s era gag and then move on to the next.
Yeah, that you're right. That was their only priority ever. Like,
Yeah.
And here, okay, now I'm going to say the thing that I think we're all feeling. I can't say for you guys for sure. For a wonderful actress, I can't believe how bad Brie Larson was in this movie.
She's pretty flat.
She's so flat. She is a charisma vacuum. She is lifeless in this movie, and I'm like, she's so good in so many things. How is she's so bad in this?
She's nothing to work with.
But it's like,
She really
no,
didn't. She was undercut in every scene almost.
She is, absolutely. But it's like, then insist that your character, but even when she's required to be quippy, like, there's this lack of energy to her quips. Like, and like, everyone keeps talking, like, Jude Law keeps talking about her, and the intelligence, she's so emotional, she gotta learn to control herself. She is not emotional. Every other character in the movie is more emotional than her.
Yeah.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger standee she shoots is more emotional than her. Because at least he's smirking. Like, no, she is not emotional. What are you saying? That is not accurate to this character at all. Like, I can't tell you anything about her. She seemed to like singing in the past.
I feel as though there was much more that she could have brought to it, but unfortunately she was given so little to work with that she essentially was just had to appear kind of like indifferent in every scene because she really didn't know what she was supposed to feel from one moment to the next, because every time you even started to develop a particular scene, it would jump to something else and move forward. And, emotions be damned. We've got to keep this train rolling on its tracks.
Like, this is a character whose life has been stolen from her. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we never emotionally connect with the life she used to have. Even in these many, many scenes with her best friend and her best friend's daughter, we never really get to connect with that life and who she was. So, and she never seems like she was betrayed. Like,
well, because that's the movie actually isn't about her. It's about stuff happening around her and to her.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not her story.
Which is crazy. She's the title character.
Yeah.
She's the first person we meet in the first scene. Like, how is this not her story? But it's really not. Like, think about what Captain America goes through in Winter Soldier just from it losing. Like, he's still the same guy, but he's lost 70 years. Like, think of what that character goes through emotionally in that movie. And that's a taut action thriller, and they still find room for him to go through some incredible character things. This movie is just an origin story, but it doesn't have any time for any character stuff with her.
Yeah, because, like, it's to say the movie's padded, I don't think it's fair. It's just, the story doesn't develop where it should, when it should, and how it should.
That's right. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And it's so frustrating. They have such talented actors. They have all of the money, every bit of money you could possibly spend on a movie. They have everything they could possibly ask for, but, the script was not ready to go.
Yeah.
The script was not ready to go.
Not in the least.
But I want to move off that now and ask
please.
a question. Where does this cat come from? And why is it there?
Don't know. It's super cute, though. The really cute cat.
No, great cat. Love it. But
such
a
good
cat. With the cat?
Well, I mean, it's Annette Bening's pet, and
it's a punchline. It's there as a joke, like everything else in this movie.
Yeah,
all the way to the end credits.
Oh yes.
Hey, was there a final end credit post credits, or because I didn't stay?
Yeah. Oh, you should have stayed.
It wasn't
worth it, but you should have stayed.
No, but it's like
the family in front of me stayed, and the kid's like, "Really? That's it?"
What was it?
It's the cat coughs up the Tesseract.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that logically makes sense that's what it was, and I probably could have guessed it.
That was probably some of the best CGI applied in the movie, because it went from a live cat to a cat that actually, physically, like, dislodged its jaws to
cough up the hairball.
Yeah, and it
looks
pretty good. So
it did.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And it's like, I was so disappointed when, like, they have the cat. Oh, what's the cat going to do? Oh, it's got a crazy The Thing face. Great, fine. But then they're like, oh, we're cornered by bad guys. We're going to do. Hey, remember that scene where Groot just casually murders a bunch of guys?
Yeah.
As a comedy joke? Let's do that exact same shot, but with the cat. I'm like,
Yep.
Really? The exact same shot?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Do your own thing. Figure out your own movie. But yeah, no, you're right. The cat is once again just a device. It's super cute, though. It's a super cute cat.
Super cute. And I guess that was one, so, like, everything about this movie is just a punchline about the 90s. The cat is named Goose. No one ever comments on it.
And they're in the Air Force. And then
they just let that one go.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Jesus.
It is weird that it's like, it's an entirely 90s focused thing, but Annette Bening, because she's from the 80s, has a cat named Goose, and that goes completely unacknowledged. You're right, it goes completely unacknowledged by the film.
And I think most people in the audience didn't get it.
No, definitely. I would say 90% of the people in the audience did not get that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because, like, at one point she's playing to eject. I'm like, like Goose? Remember? No? Okay. I guess it's not a thing. Oh, God, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is. It's frustrating. It's a film that could have been so much more.
So, does Nick Fury's mangled eye is supposed to have some kind of power now? Because the way Ben Mendelsohn reacted after he got scratched by that cat.
That is 100% what they're saying, yes.
There's something going on with that eye.
Without hesitation, they are saying that there's something going on with his eye wound now.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, how ridiculous is it that they kept it? This film turned into Hot Tub Time Machine. Because I don't know how well you remember Hot Tub Time Machine, but when they go to the place, when they go to the resort, Crispin Glover's there and he's missing an arm, and they find out he lost the arm the weekend they're going back to, and so the whole movie they spend the whole time being like, "Is this when he's going to lose his arm? Damn it, no! Is this when he's going? No, damn it, no!" They did that with Nick Fury's eye in this movie. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They're seriously Hot Tub Time Machining Nick Fury's eye.
Yep.
That's crazy. I don't, like, they have so many good writers working at Marvel. Who wrote this?
The B team, I guess.
Oh, God.
There was like 6 credited writers too, but the same two who directed also
had the final
served as writers for it too.
Credit, yeah.
But it did seem like they were kind of all fighting each other for a tone for this movie.
Oh, completely.
Because it would shift from one to the next depending upon the scene.
Yeah. It's an infuriating film, and I want to stress, I had a good time watching it, but like you said, it disappears from your head. It disappears from your head the moment it's over.
I'm not sure I'm going to watch it again.
I don't know if I can see myself ever seeing this again. Like, do you know how many times I've watched Thor 3?
Sure.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I will never forgive, and this is the kind of thing that that they should have fixed for the DVD. After you spent an entire movie establishing Immigrant Song Led Zeppelin as Thor's theme song, how on earth, in the moment in Avengers Endgame, when he flies out of the sky attacking with his new axe, does that not start playing?
It's just a refrain from it. Anything.
Just start the riff. Start the riff as he's coming in. Ding, 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 ding. Like that's all. And then the scream, and then he hits, and then he slams the axe into I want to say, oh, this is embarrassing, Thanos. And he slams the axe into Thanos, and it's like, that's your punchline. That's what we've been waiting the whole movie for Thor to be Thor again.
No, but Endgame wants to be and succeeds at being unrelentingly depressing. That song would have lightened the mood.
Right.
Way too much.
It would have cheered us all up, and the film can't risk doing that. Under no circumstances can they risk cheering us up. But the thing is, you say that, but how disheartening would it be if you have this beautiful lightning hero moment, lightning the tone, hero moment from Thor comes in, cuts him almost in two with the axe, and they still don't win. That would have been brutal.
Since we're on the Marvel's universe aspect of it, I was looking for connective tissue outside of just the Tesseract being hacked up. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, or did anyone else notice that the Skrulls' chins looked
like Thanos,
way similar to Thanos's? I mean, they had that same kind of like the
ridges. They had the jaw
whale,
ridges.
Yes, exactly. They almost look like a baleen whale kind of.
Yeah, I think that's just lazy creature
design. That's lazy creature design from the 60s and the 70s.
I didn't know if there was any sort
He is not a Skrull. No.
No, not that he was a Skrull, but that there was something. I didn't know if there was any kind of Guardians of the Galaxy kind of connection there, but but maybe that was just me hoping too much that they put too much thought into it. But what am I thinking?
No, they're just going with the original. They're going with the original character design. Fun fact: in what do you call it? The Ultimates, the really terrible comic that inspired them to bring Nick Fury on as Samuel L. Jackson on as Nick Fury. Right. They thought the Skrull design was a little on the goofy side, so they redesigned them for that. And partially the redesign of that is what became the bad guys from the first Avengers movie, the Chitauri. So there you go. Yeah. But they still have Skrulls, and the Skrulls are the old goofy looking Skrulls.
Yeah. They just look like Nosferatu.
They look so much like Nosferatus.
Yes, exactly. Little baby Nosferatu. That's why I was like, oh my god, he's going to bite your neck, child. Stay away.
Why are you being so kind to this vampire? What is wrong with you? So yeah, I think we can agree that it was a problematic film.
I have a question.
Go.
On the topic of being problematic.
Yes.
So, Lee Pace says they're going to come back to Earth for the woman.
Yeah.
So he's going to come back to Earth for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But he dies, or is destroyed, whatever you want to say, before she comes back to Earth. Because we have to assume that she's been away from Earth
this whole time. Yes. But
so
I assume Lee Pace will feature in Captain Marvel 2.
But is she back on Earth in Captain Marvel 2?
No, I think Captain Marvel 2 is going to take place in space. She wants to go to war with the Kree Empire. He's the guy who blows up planets for the Kree. I have to assume he will feature in Captain Marvel 2, and that's what they wanted to set up. But they set it up in the worst possible way.
Guardians of the Galaxy, so why wouldn't she be able to defeat him in Captain Marvel 2? Because that would have to take place before Guardians.
It would. And I'm not saying he won't get defeated again in Captain Marvel 2. If anything, they've done with this is really undermine... I mean, since Lee Pace is already dead in the modern verse, I think they had no problem undermining him in this movie, because why not? The character's already dead. So I don't think he's going to be the main enemy in Captain Marvel 2. I just think he'll be in Captain Marvel 2, because she's going to be fighting the Kree in Captain Marvel 2.
Well, that's what he is.
Yeah, and he's a Kree. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm sure he's going to be back, but I don't think he's going to be the main threat. I have no idea what the main threat is going to be.
He's already kind of in charge in this one. He's the one sending out the Star Force to murder everybody.
Yeah, he's the one blowing up planets. Yeah, like...
So, again, like, what they're setting up, I don't think is possible.
Yeah, you make a strong point there.
Yeah. But even her return at the post-credit sequence, I mean... maybe she got a hold of Samuel L. Jackson's de-ageifier, but she doesn't look like she's
aged a day.
Been gone for, 20-some-odd years?
Yeah, she hasn't aged a day because she's got superpowers now.
Right. I forgot that was one of the superpowers that was never told to us.
To quote Alan Moore, as I always do, so ill-defined as to be nearly limitless.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Like, nuclear hands and
flight,
Fountain of Youth. Got
invulnerability, Fountain of Youth.
Right, okay.
Those are her powers. Those are her only powers. Wink. She's going to have whatever powers the script requires her to have.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that is... So, yeah. A mixed bag, all in all, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's me being kind.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting
Lower
the finger
end,
from
lower
somebody in
end
the room.
of the Marvel spectrum.
No, absolutely.
Yes.
I think we can all agree on that one.
A real disappointment because the trailer set up a great story.
Yeah.
This is why I don't watch trailers. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up. Oh, so disappointing. All right, so next up is going to be Avengers Endgame. So she's going to be back for that. Hopefully she will be used better there than here, because the Russo brothers know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is my hope. I hope that because the Russo brothers know what they're doing, she will be better used there than she was here in her own origin story.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And the thing is, it's like, remember when, like, how do you not understand that you gotta give, if you want Jude Law to be the bad guy, you gotta give him something to do. He disappears from the movie, and then he's just on the telephone for 80% of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, as many problems as I have with, as many problems as I have with, what do you call it, the first Captain America movie, Red Skull's out there doing stuff. When Jeff Bridges turns evil, he's doing stuff the whole movie. He's in the whole movie.
But he's just playing catch up.
Yeah. It's like, he spends the whole movie.
20 hours to get to Earth, so what else is he going to do except talk on the phone?
Okay, one thing I really did like, and this is genuinely no questionable liking. So Agent Coulson and Nick Fury are in a car driving around, and I'm like, wow, Clark Gregg is playing this really restrained. I wonder if he's saying that back then Coulson was a bit of a stiff and not the goofy character we know him as. And then they're like, oh, it's a Skrull. He was choosing to play it very stiff because that was his little tip-off that this wasn't actually Agent Coulson. I really liked that. I thought that was very good, that, this actor made this choice to play the Skrull version of him distinctly different than the regular version of him, so the audience could clue in.
I was just so creeped out by his de-aging.
Exactly, thank you.
They spent all of the money. On Nick Fury's de-aging.
How could Sam...
and then Clark Gregg is like... Just plasticine on his face.
It's like Madame Truffaut's, Trousseau's.
Okay, Clark, stand over here. We're going to spray some liquid wax in your face. Get out there.
Exactly.
God.
Oh, we're going to really darken your eyebrows.
Put on this wig. You're golden.
Oh.
All right.
Brown. Yeah.
So that was that.
I'm right there with the DM. I felt the same thing. I just could not get my eyes off that. I'm like,
yeah,
look,
it's crazy.
Bad.
No, it's crazy. It does not look good at all. All right, so that is going to be a perfect place to stop on this.
Yes.
Final Judgment. It's like the second most successful Marvel opening weekend ever. So more power to you guys. It's one of your weaker films, but you made all the money. So we're just yelling into the void at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone saw this movie. And it's not like I'm trying to discourage people from seeing it, but everybody already did, so you would be a fool to try. And even though it wasn't a good movie, I'm glad that assholes on the internet had their feelings hurt by it doing well.
Yes.
That's what I loved. I mean, even if it's not great, assholes on the internet got their feelings hurt. Boom. That's a win for humanity, everybody.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. So that at least felt good.
But I never thought I'd be here saying that DC's Wonder Woman was a better film than this.
I know, right?
5 years ago, there's no way I would have ever predicted that. But
it's a shocker. But here we are. All right, so let's move on to Narcissism Watch.
Woo-hoo.
Rob, go.
Yes, sir. So we are, as part of the Revival House, it's a monthly film event that I have in Milton, Delaware here in the States. We are having a return screening of the Tommy Wiseau classic The Room, as if there's any other, as if he has a
one of his many films.
His canon of films. But I did see a trailer for Big Shark, I think it's called.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever the hell that thing is called.
Yeah,
And he has Best Fiends, so, he's
That
made
was
other
actually-
movies.
That was Greg
Sestero's project.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, we are going to show the room in all of its glory with plastic spoons handed out to everybody to participate. It was a wonderful event last year, almost sold out, and we're looking forward to a return visit to the room.
Yay, that sounds quite exciting. And
Yes.
anyone who hasn't seen The Room, first off, how are you living in this day and age if you haven't seen
It's
The Room?
free on YouTube
That's
now, for
crazy.
Christ's
You can just
sake.
go watch it right now. See The
Watch it with the
Room.
crowd.
You will understand so much. But if you have the chance to see it with the crowd, like in this Delaware situation, you owe it to yourself to see it with the crowd. Because it is a great
Experience
ride.
it. Yes.
It is a great ride with the crowd. Okay, for me, constant new flood of content at Hidden Object Guru channel. My new, the first fully ethical video game review channel, Totally Objective Reviews, is going like gangbusters.
Right on.
I know. At least 3 people have figured out that it's a joke. So
Wow.
most people don't know what the hell it is, but like 3 people get that it's a joke. So I'm pretty proud of that. Seriously though, so check those out. DM?
Yeah, I guess True North Crime and Chicks and Dicks for all your true crime and romance needs. Those do not intersect
I hope.
yet.
Oh yes, and of course, Profiling Criminal Minds is going to be on iTunes soon. So go and
Soon.
check that
As
out there.
soon as
Vote for it. do
I make
things.
you some new cover art.
Yes.
I am not uploading that.
You are not comfortable associating your brand with my cover art, which is fine.
You got
and
your
the
brand in
completely,
my cover. No, you got.
which I completely agree with you on. I'm a garbage person for using that cover art for so long. Totally agree with that. But anyway, as always, Rob, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm going to go back to my Zima and Tamagotchis now.
How was there no reference to Zima in this movie? How did he not walk into that Louisiana home drinking a Zima? What are you doing, movie?
Kid didn't even have a fucking Furby in sight either. Damn
Right.
it. The hell.
Where was her Furby? Why didn't
Yeah.
they put a secret message inside the Furby? We're doing the work for you, movie.
Jesus Christ.
This ain't that complicated. All right. So anyway, as always, I want to thank... oh, right. Is there any other way to get in touch with us?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. You can visit the AVOD's blog at theavod.com. If you're listening to us on iTunes, do visit the blog because there are about 300 other episodes you can listen to online.
That are not listed on iTunes yet.
Yeah,
Maybe ever.
or probably ever. You can send us an email at theavod@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
And I encourage you to do all of those things. So until next time, I've been Count Vargelon.
I've been DM.
And Shazam! Nope. Still not working.
Still not working, damn it.
I'm still Rob, damn it.
Keep trying.
Oh, well.
Thanks for
Tried.
watching and have yourselves a great evening.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh, beautiful work, Rob. Worked out perfectly.
Fun as always, man.
Oh, thank you so much, though.
No,
I'm
thank you.
glad. I was so worried I was going to be pissing people off with my opinions about this movie because I know a lot of people who love this movie.
Me too. Well, it's funny because I actually took my film class to see it in a large format in an IMAX style theater. I took my intro to film class to it, and because we got a whole tour of the facility, they got to see how the films came in, and we got it behind the screen actually.
Oh,
So,
nice!
It was great. It was it's a Dolby Atmos 51 speaker setup, and it was a little private tour, so it was great. And that part of it was just so much fun and
streaming,
so
that's
awesome.
fine.
And then we had to sit through this, and
Oh,
I just felt bad because I like and some of the
you're like, damn it! If only the Meg had come out later, I
Right?
could have taken them to
Well,
the Meg.
And some of the students were truly engaged and they did enjoy it. And I was very hesitant to actually express my full opinion on it because I wanted them. I realized that probably it was because their lack of any kind of seeing this genre, which I call a subgenre now. The origin story is essentially a subgenre.
Oh, absolutely.
Perhaps they hadn't seen it before, so I kind of reserve judgment.
Honestly,
on it,
you don't want to ever discourage people from loving film.
No,
you just want to give them the chance to love great film.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So I figure they're all young, so they'll probably they'll become old and jaded like me soon. So I'll give them time.
Let them enjoy it for now. Just let them have a good time.
Exactly.
I completely agree with that logic.
But yes, and anytime, guys,
absolutely. I mean, we'll talk about doing Shazam. Obviously, you're coming back for Avengers.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
and if
we'll
you
talk
decide
about
to do
Shazam.
if you decide to do that, I'd be happy to come and do that too.
Thank you so much. I mean, it'll just be like, what's that week like? But there's a good chance we're going to do us because of we're almost certainly going to do us. So. Oh, it's next Friday. So not this Friday, but the next Friday.
21st.
21st. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Is that this Friday?
22nd. No, it's next week.
It's next. Okay. It's next week is the point.
Yeah.
All right, we're definitely. Today's the 12th. Oh, okay. Today's the 12th, so Friday's the 5th. Okay. Thank you. Try the 15th to 22nd. That's going to be great. I mean, we're desperate to see this movie. We all had such good conversation about Get Out. I assume this film is going to have just as much to offer. Because the man's doing a great job. As you say, everyone at South by Southwest seemed to like it. I saw review scores, but of course, as always, I never read reviews because I have to review stuff myself.
Well, it's really got my interest peaked for what he's going to do with Twilight Zone, especially in this age of Black Mirror. I'm really kind of curious as to see what he can do with it.
Yeah, well, to not come at it as from a point of view of nihilism and hatred of humanity would be a nice place to start.
Yes. Yeah,
Dear
absolutely.
Charles Booker, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, exactly.
You really hate people, don't you?
Yeah. And technology.
He hates technology. But more people.
Yeah, but you're right.
More people. Like, he doesn't trust technology. He hates people. Thank you all. No, thank you so much, as always. It's been fantastic. We will see you back here soon.
Sounds awesome.
And I will email you about those other projects.
Yes. I'm really interested. I'm really curious as to the Wise Guy. And by the way, we've also... I should have plugged it. If you look at revivalhousetheater.com, we have a brand new film competition.
Nice.
We missed the Halloween one.
No, this last one you did, yes.
Yeah.
But we have one coming in for July. So
what's the competition?
To give you in a nutshell, there is a music producer by the name of Tommy Prophet. He's done.
I know Tommy Prophet. Yeah.
Okay, so he has given us the license to use any song from his library. So we selected 10 songs, and the competition is you make a trailer using his
music
as a soundtrack.
Yes. His stuff is really epic.
He really is. He's got such a great. He's just got such a great cinematic feel to his songs.
Yes.
So
well, this is all gibberish to me, but I can't wait to have DM explain it to me later.
All the links to all the songs are available on our website. So all you need to do is just go listen to those songs and say, I can see a movie set to this, or I can have a trailer
right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, please do. That'll be in July. It's coming up in July. So I mean, I can plug it again, but
of course, you're going to have plenty of chances to plug it. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Isn't it weird that we ended up enjoying Venom more?
Right.
That's weird.
Exactly.
That's just weird.
No, it truly is. I mean,
I really watched that. I was like, Tomb Raider or Venom? And I went with Tomb Raider. I guess
you should watch Venom. You should really watch Venom. It's a weird movie.
You're not going to come away saying that was a great movie, but you're going to come away saying that movie knew what it was, and
it knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, it knew its purpose, and it knew what it wanted, and just rolled with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
can I criticize it all? All right. Here's my only criticism of Venom. I really would have liked it if instead of just Tom Hardy doing a funny voice, it had been like Keith David as Venom.
Ooh.
That's going to be my only complaint.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. That would have been
Yep.
nice because Keith David's the best, as we all know. He could
Yeah.
have said his catchphrase, which is something I'm going to stop
He doesn't
referencing.
have a catchphrase.
Which is something I'm going to stop referencing because DM hates it when I reference Keith David's catchphrase. I'll tell you about that later.
I'm trying to think back to They Live and trying to think of what he would say in that.
It's not from They Live.
Oh.
That is the surprise. You'd think it would be from They Live, but it's not from They Live.
Yeah, because the only catchphrases I can think of are all come from Rowdy Roddy.
Yeah, Rowdy Piper got all the good lines in that one.
Yeah.
It is obviously from John Carpenter, just not from They Live. So something to think about, and if you can't guess it, I'll tell you later.
It's from The Thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit.
Also, no.
I used to go every line he says in that movie.
I know. Now I'm going to have to IMDb like all the quotes from there.
All the awesome quotes.
Yep.
You know, all those famous Thing quotes that are so popular.
Exactly. All the kids are saying these days.
You know, people freaking love quoting the things. It's that famous quotable movie, The Thing.
Okay.
Shit. All right. So we'll see you soon.
Have a great night, kids.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
So yeah, DM. We're going to. We can figure out what we're gonna. Oh, look at the room poster. We'll figure out. I'll edit this. You can put it up whenever, and we can figure out whenevs what we're gonna do next week because we got plenty of time because we recorded on Tuesday this week.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know what we're gonna watch next week yet, but we have time to talk about it.
Okay.
So I will see you back here soon. But now I'm just going to go sign off from the stream as well.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, all. It's now just you and me. That being the royal you?
And me.
And you. Seriously, though. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. But yeah, we're going to call it here. As I've mentioned over and over again on the stream, I'm on a writing deadline, so I can't do extra long streams for the next week until this script is done. But I will continue doing chill hangout writing streams, and I don't know if anyone enjoys those. I enjoy doing them, but, you know, that's just because it forces me to not procrastinate and actually sit down and write, so... I mean, it's positive for me, but there you go. Okay. All right.
And I would put Captain Marvel firmly in the middle of Marvel.
There you go.
Is it the best? No, but it's firmly in the middle.
Okay,
There are
Hans.
much worse Marvel movies.
If you'd like, I can start announcing the... There are much worse Marvel movies. You're absolutely right about that. If you'd like, I can start announcing the streams. The writing streams. They either happen in the early afternoon, like it will tomorrow, or the middle of the night, like 1 a.m., like they did last night. So generally 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., there's a chance I'm going to be writing, so you can always check for a stream. You got a server owner banned from his own... That's terrible, Maddie. Okay. Ouch. I have to assume he was doing something terrible. Just behaving horribly. So I got a copy of Infernium. It was $5 today, so I'm like, sold. I have it on the PS4, but it is glitched to F and has this issue where it, when you quit and reload, it deletes your save file. So I'm like, that was a free copy, so I'm happy to pay for it at least once. But I was very frustrated by my inability to play Infernium. It's 11:47 in Argentina. It's only 1 hour ahead of me. Yeah, well then you shouldn't do that, Maddie. I disapprove. I know you don't care that I disapprove, but I do. Uh, anyway, I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. I'm going to be doing, if you want to check out my writing stream, that's going to happen around 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. If you want to join me for this regular video game stream, that's going to be happening the usual time, 9-ish tomorrow night. I don't know what we're going to be playing. We might be playing hot new game Hypnospace Outlaw. It looks like I'm getting a review copy of that. I gotcha. Wait. The Crossing and No Way Out? I don't know what the... I mean, is No Way Out that... I'm trying to remember which map that is. Yeah. Phoenix, tell... if you upload that level to the server, let me know and we'll play it on the channel. I'd be happy to play your levels on... your Zombie Night Terror levels on the channel. So just let me know when it's up, and then during your stream you can guide me to it on the level... the community level app on Zombie Night Terror. Yes, we might be playing Hypnospace Outlaw, maybe something else. It should be fun. I think it's gonna be pretty badass. So I'll see you back here for that. But until then, I'm gonna say au revoir.